There is a moment where you will have to choose whether to remain silent or stand up. Malala. Hi, my name is Adriana, and today I will explain racism at its peak in times of COVID and the new social activist movements that resulted from this pandemic. At the start of COVID 19, the real virus became misinformation, having fake news everywhere and false statements in the media, which definitely became the ideal space for discrimination, racism, and hate crimes. To start, one of the most affected minorities by the upheaval of society was the Asian American Pacific Islander, also known as the API community. False accusations and racist statements were spread through the media, encouraging discrimination and hate towards the API community, saying that they were the only ones in fault for the virus and strongly attacking them by claiming that they were spreading the virus to everyone. And it got worse for people like Leo Lee, a Cantonese businessman, owner of a restaurant in Los Angeles, California, who had suffered from getting a lot of prank calls during the pandemic. People asking him if he sold bats or he served COVID in his restaurant, making fun of him with racist comments and hate expressions. Like him, many other people from the API community have been affected, and the situation has escalated to hate crimes and discrimination cases. The Center for Study of Hate and Extremism at California State University found that hate crimes against Asians in the US surged by 169% from the first quarter of 2020 to the first quarter of 2021. From March 19 to March 30th, there were 6,603 incidents reported to Stop API Hate, including verbal harassment, shunning, and physical assault. Fortunately, due to the racial discrimination and hate crimes that came into light, the social movement supporting the API community started to make its presence on social media. Not only with hashtags like hashtag Stop API Hate or hashtag Stop Asian Hate, but by showing its strong support, backing up the API communities, showing its strong disapproval to ex-President Donald Trump's depiction of COVID as a Chinese virus. This social movement also brought up past hate crimes and discrimination acts towards the Asian community, like the Chinese Exclusion Act and the treatment of Chinese workers building American railroads during the Second World War in the Japanese internment camps. The growing support for the API community is growing due to social media, but it is more than time for it to be brought to real life into amendments and new law projects to back up the API community and show the devastation we should all have for every single form of discrimination. But let's keep hitting on the nail and let's talk about another one of the most important movements in this pandemic, the Black Lives Matter movement, which is in fact a very broad topic, so I will limit myself to inform about its impact into society. Just for the record, and contrary to popular belief, the Black Lives Matter movement had its uprising long before the pandemic, and it actually just had a huge popularity rise in 2020 with the utterly horrific cases of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and more victims of police brutality and hate crimes. Around 15 to 26 million Americans participated on protests all over the US, trying to claim justice for the victims and giving the Black Lives Matter movement a new meaning and spreading the support for the Black communities ending with white supremacy. It is more than evident that social movements have caused an enormous impact on society during this pandemic, and it is important that we learn, that we inform ourselves, and that we aim to end with discrimination, racism, and hate crimes, bringing our thoughts into actions and working towards having a world where we can all live in peace and justice is our biggest law. Let's remember, racism is a true virus of this pandemic, and we do have a vaccine for COVID, but we do not have a vaccine for hate. Thank you.